continue the theme of high school football now as we are pleased to visit with the head football coach entering his first year as the head coach at Riverdale High School. Great to welcome Kyle Walker to the show. Kyle, listen, thanks for the time and welcome.
Ken, thank you, man. I appreciate being on. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the news, and I read the letter today, and I think that's the positive right step. So that's good to hear.
I ask every coach, and I have now. I'm keeping count. I've spoken to 96 coaches. I've yet to speak to one that said they don't want to play in September and they don't want to play in the fall. I would assume that you want to play as soon as possible in the fall as well?
Absolutely. Our kids, we're following all the guidelines, and we look forward to an update as soon as it comes out from the LHSAA. And our kids are, biting at the bit. They're ready to start. They're ready. But yes, I mean, absolutely, we want our kids out there, especially those seniors. They deserve a chance to, play their fall senior year and get football in. And I think we're headed in the right direction.
And it goes without saying, the kids want to play, and the opportunity, if they want to opt out, as we talked about earlier, is certainly there, and that would be understandable. Some people would say, yeah, but what about the principals, and what about the school board? You feel like you have the support of those entities for Riverdale to be able to play as well?
Absolutely, and I think with the player choosing to play extracurricular activities, they choose to play that every year. That is something that they need to get signed by their parent in order to play sports anyway. So this is just one more thing that, they sign and want to play. And I know, speaking with my athletic director, Coach Temple, he's on board with making sure we follow the guidelines at LHSAA, making sure Oshner, Jefferson Parish, and, they're supporting. And we always talk and have meetings, and, our school is ready for football. I think the schools need it. I think the players need it, the kids, the coaches. I just think it's a great thing, and I think they all got a taste this weekend when they saw other states on TV. It kind of pushed those kids a little bit more. It kind of pushed those coaches a little bit more, and we are definitely heading in the right direction.
I've talked to a couple of coaches over the weekend who watched this wall-to-wall high school football on national television, who said they actually screamed at the television that they want to play. Was it that emotional for you as well?
It was, watching it all day Saturday, and then I watched a couple replays yesterday on CST, and just watching those kids and watching the excitement that they're having, and watching the coaches being able to interact, and they're practicing the different social distancing. You can see it on the sidelines, you can see it in the stands. And, if that's what we have to do in order to play high school football, then that's what we got to do. But I think these kids need it, and for sure the coaches need it. I mean, this is our time to, this is what we spend our time doing. This is what we do.
Yeah, CST keeps replaying these games from the 80s and 90s with me doing games, and yes, I still look like that. No, and if you believe that, I got some property to sell you between Kenner and LaPlace, too. So, but that's okay. I enjoy it nonetheless. All right, so you take the job at Riverdale. You leave a good program at a good school at Chalmette. You, of course, were at De La Salle after Hannon and coached at De La Salle, too. Talk about, and I know we talked about it when I wrote a feature on it for CrescentCitySports.com, months and months ago, but talk about why you did feel like Riverdale was the kind of job that you wanted to take on and that you felt you could succeed in.
I mean, Ken, this has been nothing but a pleasure over at Riverdale. I have, as soon as I've gotten hired, I've been over there. I enjoyed it. I just feel that they have a sense of ownership over at Riverdale, and it just needs to be taken over, and the program just needs to be built. And I think, if you can get some consistency throughout the next couple years, I really do believe, the players have come together. They've done a great job over the summer. I meet with these guys on a regular basis, and now, we started school for the first day, and that was a little bit of a challenge, but hey, it worked, and, the administration did a great job getting that done. And so now I just feel like this was a move in my career that is going to help me down the road, way down the road, because I plan on being at Riverdale for quite a long time. It's a great place to be. We're in a district where we're very competitive. They lost some tough games last year, And I tell the guys all the time, I said, as the offensive coordinator last year at Chalmette, I said, playing Riverdale was one of the, even though it was week 10, it was one of the harder defenses that we had to scout on. So they definitely have talent. They definitely have good kids. It's just a great situation, and I really think I fell into something that I'm really going to enjoy for a lot of years to come.
And the stability is so important because, as I noted when I talked to you previously, 12 head coaches in fewer than 2 decades. There's just not been any stability. There have been some good men there in that job, some friends and some good people that have been there, but did not stay for any extended period of time. How important is that to have stability for you to be in that job for a period of time?
That's exactly it. The Coach Brooks that's leaving, that just previously left, he's a friend of mine. But he left after 3 years. I don't want to do that. I want to see what this program has to offer, and it started off great. And I've got some great assistant coaches that I've put together, and we're getting there. And I think in the years to come, we're going to be, we'll be, whether we're 5A, 4A, it doesn't matter. We're going to be playing for district championships coming down the line in football, and I think that'll just help build the program, build athletics over at Riverdale. I mean, it's a great situation.
You got a good man in Sean Temple to work for, and that's a real plus. And so administrative support as well. Location is there. Just have to convince more kids to stay home, so to speak, in the district, because there's so many schools that draw from that area that you are residing in.
Yes, exactly right. We play, right here in Jefferson, but there's schools all around us that, our middle school is kind of attached, but at the same time, we're there again. Rummel High School is right around the corner. John Curtis is right around the corner. Those are 2 predominant 5A schools that kids have an option to go to if they choose to leave. And when they leave to go to those schools, they know. So if you get good talent and you get starting winning, I think those kids stay around and they'll build your program and make you even better.
About 2 minutes left with Kyle Walker of Riverdale. Coach, talk about some of your prominent players, some guys that people should be ready to pay attention to once you hit the field in 2020.
Absolutely. I mean, walking into the locker room, and, well, we haven't walked into the locker room yet, but walking into and meeting these guys and just meeting Myron Burks, he's a 6'5" defensive end that, is going to play somewhere at the next level. Where he's going to play, I'm not sure, but he's a handful to deal with. Just watching him last year on tape and seeing how much he's grown, he's gotten taller. He's probably 6'5.5" now, and he's a guy that's going to make a real impact on defense. He's going to make some offenses have to worry about him at the defensive end position. And then offensively, we have a receiver in Juan Hall that if he starts putting it all together. He's got all the tools. He's just got to put them all together. He's gonna be a guy that can play at the next level. He'll extend the field for us. And obviously, we're putting in a different offense. And we brought a guy over from defense to play quarterback in Darren Levitt, and he has taken control over it. And he has, we ask him to run the ball, throw the ball, run the offense. It's a change from what they've seen. And and then there's a guy also. I don't want to leave him out, Corin Davis, that has played defensive end last year, but we're moving him around. He's got more athletic skill, and we have a couple guys with Laquan Johnson who can lock up a corner, and then Damon Porter, who's a little slot receiver that's going to extend the field also, and also can take one to the house real quick. And then obviously my O-line we're returning all but one starter. And in this offense, that's where it's based off of. So there's going to be some definitely surprises, I think, for our district.
Indeed. And then last but not least, the district itself. Chalmette, of course, you know a little bit about them. East Jefferson looks like they'll be better this year. Bonneville's had good athletes, and Brett does a fine job. Was at Riverdale previously. Higgins has struggled. West Jeff struggled last year, but I'm sure Willie will probably get that right. And then there's John Ehret, the monolith, who clearly is out front of everyone else. Just talk about the district, if you will.
Yeah, obviously, being in the district over at Chalmette now and learning from all these, coaching against these guys, and, Brett, like you said, at Bonneville, and Willie, and, Coach Rogers now at Everett, like you get to know these guys, and they do a great job. And obviously, down in Chalmette, Coach Tucker does a great job with his staff. I mean, if you look at what they've done over the years and with his players, and so I just feel like we have the tools to build it there, and if we can put it all together, we have a chance to make a push in this district in the next coming years. I mean, we're hoping this year we're going to get a really good chance, and especially for these seniors. But it is going to be a very competitive district. I believe East Jeff has gotten better, and they're always a struggle. They're right down the road, and Everett's obviously probably on the top, and them and Chalmette are going to be battling for 1 and 2. But hopefully we can get ourselves up there. Last year Riverdale had Everett for a while there and just lost a close game. So anybody can beat anybody on a Friday night, and as long as you put in the time, these kids put in the work. They've done it all summer, and we just hope they get a chance to come out and compete.
Kyle Walker, Riverdale High School. Thank you so much for the time tonight. Nothing but the best moving forward.
Ken, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
You got it, Kyle.